Imagine this for a second. You wake up one morning, open your eyes, and the very first thought in your head is, okay, something is very wrong, not the usual kind of wrong. Not like, oh no, I overslept, no. More like, I think I woke up in the wrong time period. There are no cars, no voices, no city noise, and most importantly, no Wi-Fi. Instead, you're standing in the middle of a massive jungle. The trees are enormous, so tall you actually have to lean your head back just to see the top. Around your feet are giant ferns spreading out like green umbrellas. Some of them are bigger than your kitchen table, and the air feels strange, thicker, warmer, almost like the world itself is much older than it should be. At this point, you're probably thinking, okay, I'm definitely still dreaming, right? Honestly, that would be my first guess too, because the second possibility is way worse. That somehow, some impossible way, you just woke up in the Jurassic period about 150 million years ago. Now obviously your brain refuses to believe that. So like any modern human being, you reach for the one thing that solves almost every problem. Your phone. Because if the internet works, then everything is probably fine. You unlock the screen, look at the signal bar, and nothing. No signal, not one bar, not even that fake bar. Your phone sometimes shows just to make you feel better. At this point you're starting to think, okay, this is not great, but then suddenly, zzz, something flies past your face. You jump back and turn around, and you see a dragonfly, but not a normal one. This one is about the size of a pigeon. Yes, a dragonfly, the size of a pigeon, and right. About then, a slightly terrifying thought starts forming in your head. If the insects here are that big, how big are the other animals? And right as you think that, the ground starts to shake. At first it's subtle, just a small vibration under your feet, like a truck passing somewhere nearby. But then the shaking gets stronger. Leaves start trembling. Birds, well, not exactly birds, burst out of the trees and fly into the sky. You slowly turn toward the forest, and then something massive steps out from behind the trees. A giant, long-necked dinosaur. Its neck stretches high above the jungle canopy. The thing looks less like an animal, and more like a walking skyscraper. Now here's the important question. What would you do? Option A, stand there and admire the beauty of prehistoric nature. Option B, take out your phone and start recording a TikTok. Or option C, run. If you picked C, congratulations. You have pretty solid survival instincts, because that dinosaur probably weighs tens of tons, and if it accidentally steps on you, the fact that it's a vegetarian won't make you any less flat. Luckily, this one seems peaceful. Stretches its neck up into the trees, pulls down branches, and slowly chews the leaves like a gigantic prehistoric giraffe. Eventually, it wanders away into the jungle, and when it does, you notice something on the ground. Footprints. Huge ones. You step inside one of them and realize something slightly terrifying. You can stand inside the footprint with room to spare, and that's when the reality finally hits you. You're not just visiting the Jurassic period, you're surviving it. But wait, you thought things were weird already, right? Well, not quite. Because suddenly a loud screech echoes across the sky. You look up. Several giant creatures glide through the clouds. At first they almost look like birds, but then you notice the long beaks, the leathery wings, the reptile-like bodies. These aren't birds, they're pterosaurs. Flying reptiles that ruled the skies, long before birds ever existed. And if you're thinking, well, at least they're up in the air, bad news, some of them eat meat, and sometimes they like their food to go, which could be you. But things still aren't done getting weird, because after wandering through the jungle for a while, you discover something interesting. A cave. Cool. Dry. And honestly, it looks like a pretty great place to hide. But then you notice something near the entrance. Bones. Lots of bones. Big bones. Small bones. Broken bones, and historically speaking, a cave full of bones is not usually a good sign. Now, a smarter person might turn around and leave immediately, but humans have something called curiosity, and curiosity tends to win. So you grab a burning branch and slowly walk inside. The cave is dark. Very dark. Your torchlight flickers against the stone walls. Every step echoes softly around you. For a moment, everything seems quiet. Too quiet. And then, something moves. Two glowing eyes appear in the darkness. Massive shape shifts forward. The firelight reveals rows of long, sharp teeth. And judging by those teeth, this dinosaur definitely does not eat salad. At that exact moment, your brain completely stops thinking, and your legs immediately take control. You run, not heroically, not gracefully, just pure prehistoric panic cardio. You crash through plants and branches. Leaves slap your face. Behind you, the ground shakes as the predator charges forward, somehow by pure luck. You dive behind a massive tree trunk. You hold your breath. You don't move. You don't blink. For several long, terrifying minutes. Eventually, the heavy footsteps fade away, and somehow, you're still alive. Night falls quickly in the prehistoric world. You sit beside a small fire, staring into the darkness between the trees. Somewhere out there, something moves. Something big, and right now, you really hope you're not on the dinner menu. Finally, after the longest night of your life, the sun begins to rise. Golden light spreads across the valley. In the distance, massive dinosaurs roam peacefully across the landscape, like they've been doing for millions of years. You watch the ancient world wake up, and you realize something incredible. This place is beautiful, wild, untouched, older than anything humanity has ever known. But one thing is very clear. This world was never built for humans. So if you ever wake up in the Jurassic period, remember one very important survival rule. Run first. Ask questions later. And most importantly, don't be the slowest creature in the forest.